again po, no, a gentle reminder, continue to just put your guess lang po diyan sa ating chat box, no? And tonight, meron po tayong raffle for everyone. Kaya make sure lang po na hindi kayo aalis, no? Samahan niyo po kami until the end. And we also have a weekly winner, no? Monday to Thursday po yan sa mga raming invite na guests. So tonight po, our topic is very big, no? Kung andyan po ba kayo, this type po, big. Tignan daw po natin. Yan. Type po natin yung big, B-I-G. Yan. So thank you, Sir Arnold. No? So thank you, Sir Arnold, Ma'am Alma, Ma'am Annalie. So our topic is very big po. No? Kaya please invite all your friends, your family, no? Because together we will learn how to boost up, no, our immunity. Tonight is our product launching of Spirulina 3,000 tablet. Diba? Very big, no? And for me, big savings din po siya, no, to everyone. But before we proceed, let us watch this video, Why Spirulina.
Spirulina. Spirulina is a blue-green algae, one of nature's first phytosynthetic life forms that existed 3.6 billion years ago. In 1974, at the United Nations World Food Conference, it was announced that spirulina is the most ideal food for mankind. UNESCO concurred and declared that spirulina is the most ideal and perfect food of tomorrow. According to the World Health Organization, spirulina is mankind's best health supplement in the 21st century, while the US Department of Agriculture concluded that spirulina is food for the future. Further, spirulina has been recommended by NASA and the European Space Agency as one of the primary foods to be cultivated during long-term space missions. Spirulina uses sunlight to make its own food in a process called photosynthesis. This process produces energy for its growth. With 3.6 billion years of evolutionary wisdom encoded in its DNA, spirulina is well known as a superfood. This superfood is rich in 5 major nutrients such as proteins, carbohydrates, essential fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, and others. One of the key elements that most living creatures, including humans, need for healthy development is protein. As compared with other types of food or supplements, spirulina is the most concentrated whole food source of protein and is totally alkaline. With up to 70% protein content of its dry weight, spirulina contains far more protein than most types of food. Not only that, the biological ratio of protein in spirulina is complete, wherein it provides 8 essential amino acids, as well as 10 non-essential amino acids. The digestibility of protein in spirulina is one of the highest in any food, at the rate of 95%. The dry weight of spirulina contains 15 to 25% carbohydrate and has a high amount of polyunsaturated fatty acids, PUFAs, up to 2% of 5% total lipid. In particular, spirulina is rich in gamma-linolenic acid, 36% of total PUFAs, which is 3 times more than evening primrose oil. This remarkable superfood is a treasure trove of vitamins such as B complex, vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin H, vitamin K. The vitamin B12 content in spirulina is about 2.5 times higher than cow liver, and it has 25 times more beta-carotene than raw carrots. In addition, spirulina contains many minerals including iron, potassium, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, zinc, chromium, and selenium. Spirulina's content of iron is 56 times higher than spinach. It is also rich in enzymes and chlorophyll, a green pigment common to plants. In fact, spirulina's content of chlorophyll is 30 times higher than wheatgrass. Phycocyanin is a blue pigment in spirulina that efficiently binds to heavy metals and radioisotopes and facilitates their elimination from the body. Undoubtedly, spirulina is one of the most impressive varieties and concentrations of functional nutrients ever known in any food, plant, grain, or herb. These facts are acknowledged by the United Nations World Health Organization through its creation of the Intergovernmental Institution for the Use of Microalgae Spirulina Against Malnutrition, IMSAM, in 2001. The IMSAM is currently running pilot projects using spirulina to fight severe malnutrition around the world with promising results. Spirulina is an amazing natural superfood which contains over 60 nutrients with many health benefits. Spirulina is truly your food for life.
So, alright, so now, alam niyo na po, no, why we need to choose Alken Spirulina. But to add on po, no, some information, some additional na detail, no, detalye sa ating Alken Spirulina, allow me to introduce our speaker tonight, no. Siya po ay nag-work as chemist for 5 years po sa Singapore. She started, no, lagi po natin sinasabi na talaga nag-start po siya zero experience in Alken. Sa kanyang 12 years, no, correct me ma'am if I'm wrong, no, but marami na po siyang natayong network, di lang po sa Philippines, also in Dubai, no. And let us all welcome and listen to our diamond, Miss Josephine Chong. Hello ma'am, Miss Josephine, good evening po.
Hello, magandang gabi po sa iyong lahat. Hello to all our guests here, and hello to some of our friends here who joined us tonight with the Spirulina 3000 tablets launching. So once again, thank you for your time. And if your friends have not joined you, please invite them to join these informative sessions, because tonight we also have some new info to share with you. And also we have invited some of the sharers. You know, they will share with us live testimony how it actually helped their family to recover from the virus during this pandemic. Yeah, so we also hope that with this sharing tonight, you'll be able to help you to gain more knowledge, to share the blessings to more people around you, especially during this pandemic. Yeah, so I wish everyone safe and healthy, because I think when we look at the news recently, a lot of cases are still going up, although the vaccination rate has increased. Actually, similarly here in Malaysia. Yeah, but I think in Philippines, I read about the news, there are like more Delta strain, and actually it pushed the total cases up to already more than 2 millions now in Philippines. And you know, a lot of the frontliners and the nurse, the doctors, they are already burned out since the long fight started last year. And you know, some people even predict that, you know, the COVID cases may even peak later by year end. So of course, we hope that the whole situation will get better. I hope everyone, you stay safe. You know, if you really need to go out, always be very cautious, maintain the safety distance, you know, wear double mask. Yeah, and if you haven't get your vaccination, I highly encourage everyone to get a vaccination as possible. Yeah, so if you can read the statistic also, you can see that from last year until this April, it hit 1 million cases in Philippines, but in just 5 months time, of April to September, now it's already 2.3 million cases in Philippines. So, and we all also have heard, you know, many cases of friends or families or some members, they have friends that get infected. So I just hope and pray again, everyone stay safe and healthy. And why the knowledge we gain tonight is so important, to ensure all of us and our loved one are all safe and healthy and well protected. Yeah, because I think with the situation now, we can't just based on, you know, we can't totally avoid, but what other things that we can really do to help to boost up our immune system, especially during this period, is very important. So why we want to talk about spirulina and immunity today, and let's just talk about first, what are the factors will determining the strength of our immune system. Yeah, so because we all know that the factors determine the strength of our immune system. Yeah, actually one of it is age. Yeah, so especially, you know, for infant, for child, you know, when we are immature, actually the immune system are still developing. is not yet really matured. That's why you see when we are young or when we are baby, there are a lot of vaccination that we need to take when we reach certain age. These are all to helping us to be, to boost our immune system to against certain virus. Yeah, and when we age also, our immune system start to drop. Yeah, so especially when we get elder, we may lose some appetite, or maybe certain food that we don't really take. Same with kids as well. Maybe some kids, they are like picky, or they are not really eating the complete food. So you will find that some kids may tend to get sick more easier than the rest. So a lot of factors plays a part. So, but of course, when we look at adult also, not all adults like very much healthier compared to the elderly. It also depends, Sometimes certain elderly who have more exercise and eat complete food could be healthier than an adult who is always under stress and don't have enough rest as well. So there are other factors that we can actually control in our life, in our lifestyle. It could be the nutrition, it could be lifestyle, because we all know that if a poor diet, it could link to imbalanced nutrients. Yeah. So like I mentioned, poor diet, it could be because the kids is picky, or it could be because, certain youngster, or like we like junk food, all the food that is masarap, that is maybe not so complete nutrients diet, or a restricted diet. Maybe certain area, because of the lockdown, we have a limited source of certain food, or hectic lifestyle. I know some of the people who is always busy working, they don't have time to really think of what to eat or what to cook. Yeah. So all these are considered poor diet, which will lead to imbalanced nutrients. So because we have to understand our body, our body needs essential nutrients to work properly every day. And those essential nutrients, actually, our body cannot produce, but we have to take from the meal. So if we have to take from the meal, but we are eating that meal that is, with restricted nutrition, then our immune function will compromise. Yeah, because what we are eating is not enough to cover our immune system to function properly. And also some other factors, it could be because lack of sleep, stress, when we drink less water, or especially for people who is smoking, drinking, or lack of exercise. All this again, it will compromise our immune function. And when it's prolonged period, when the whole immune function is compromised, the risk of infection is then higher. Yes. So of course, we don't want this to happen with us and our family. We also want to think that, what other things that we can do, to help to protect ourselves. Yeah. At the same time, if we know that the risk is already increased, we have to also learn that how to boost our immune system, how to strengthen our body to fight against the virus. Yeah. So how is spirulina related to the immune system? Yes, today we're going to share with you how. So in fact, it's not something new that spirulina can help to boost our immune system. Way back when, I don't know, like 9th century or many hundreds or thousands years ago, spirulina has been a staple food, a staple diet for some of the communities that are living around Lake Chad in Africa, or some of the area around Lake Texcoco in Mexico for hundreds of years. When the scientists first find out why this group of people, they can live so so healthily, they feel very weird. Why? Because in around this lake in Africa and in Mexico, actually it's a whole big area of desert. The normal animal cannot even survive, and there's no fish and no crops in the lake because of it's very high alkaline and very salty. So nothing much for them to eat. But these people, surprisingly, they'll stay very healthy. So the scientists actually start to do some research and want to find out actually what are these people eating. They don't have animal, they don't have other food from the lake. Then they realize, these ladies, they're actually scooping some of the green color scum that floating on the surface of the lake. And then after they scoop, they'll actually pour it out on the desert and actually let it dry for a few days. Then they will make the green powder to make it into bread or cake. They will bring to sell, and then they'll just eat it for living. And for hundreds of years, that they are eating this for long term, and they are even healthier than the people who is staying in urban. So then scientists start to actually make more research about spirulina and what is spirulina, and they realize that spirulina is one of the most ancient prehistory life form. It's already in the world since 3.6 billion years ago until now, and they realize that surprisingly, it's a natural plant by itself, but it contains all the nutrients that we need in our body. Yeah, so a lot of different organizations that have give recognition to spirulina, like the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations says that it's the best food for tomorrow. And the World Health Organization says that spirulina is the best health supplement for mankind in the 21st century. And the US FDA also says that it's an excellent nutrient supplement. And United Nations in 1974, they also claimed that spirulina is the best food for tomorrow. It's the answer to world food hunger and malnutrition. So spirulina has been used by the United Nations and this organization IMSAM, the Intergovernmental Institution for the Use of Microalgae Spirulina Against Malnutrition. They use this spirulina actually to combat malnutrition in the third world country, because they find it is something that not so costly to grow, but it can available as a quick source of complete nutrients for all the kids who have facing malnutrition problems there. And this is Dr. Yasumasa, one of our founder of Alkan Spirulina. He also sponsored Alkan Spirulina to combat the malnutrition in Zambia, working with the United Nations and this IMSAM. So you can see that, yeah, it's not just today, but we have spirulina has helped so many people around the world. And when we talk about malnutrition, actually, it's not just happen in a third world country. Even countries like here, you know, Philippines or Singapore, some of the countries, even that we may have plenty of food, but because of the food now mostly a highly processed, you know, junk food, fast food, the food that even we have enough food, but the nutrients itself is not enough to cover what our body needs. Yes, that's why I'm very blessed when I first get to know about spirulina. I'm really so amazed. Because when I study food science, I realized one thing that, you know, it's best that we can get the nutrients from the complete natural food source itself, not by the synthetic source. But spirulina itself, a natural plant by itself, it contains 5 major nutrients, including the 20 minerals, 18 vitamin, 18 plant protein, the carbohydrate, fat, all that our body needs, which I find it very amazing. So it's unlike something that, you know, you need to synthesize as a multivitamin in the lab, but it grows itself after billion years. That is something, you know, just suit for us perfectly as our nutrient source every single day. So since 12 years ago, I have never stopped taking my spirulina, and it's the same for my family as well. I feel blessed that it is something that I can protect myself and my family. So how rich is the spirulina, you know, the nutrition value? So we give you some concept or example. Do you know that every 30 tablet of alkaline spirulina, it provides the nutrients equivalent to around for example, the beta carotene is what you can find in 500 apples. Can you imagine how many apples we can take every single day? I think one every day is like very good already. But when I take 30 tablets of spirulina, it's equivalent to 500 apples. That is unbelievable, right? And I can just get from spirulina. And how about vitamin D3? It's equivalent to what we can find in 420 grapes. Whoa. And we all know that grapes, it could be something more expensive. Not every day we can get a grapes, but we can get all these from 30 tablets of spirulina. And vitamin B1, when we take 30 tablets of spirulina, is what we can find in 31 bowl of rice. Amazing. I don't think we want to eat so many rice just to get the B1, but spirulina can provide us. And the iron is what we can find in 23 lemons. Vitamin E is what we can find in 20 bell peppers. See? Yeah, bell pepper is something that I may not really eat. Yeah, but I'm blessed that I can get from spirulina. And vitamin B12 is what we can get in 18 eggs. And vitamin B12 is what we can get from 80 fresh sashimi from the salmon. Wow. Since when I can have a chance to get 80 sashimi in one meal is also impossible, and I don't think I can eat so much. But we can get all these is like very high concentrated nutrients just from 30 tablets of spirulina every day. So isn't it amazing? And the two important key nutrients that I want to bring out today is number one, protein. Why protein? Because in our day-to-day function now, when we want to strengthen our immune system, we need to the red blood cell and the white blood cell is very important. Yeah, so protein is a fuel source for the red blood cells and the white blood cells to actually, to renew and grow. So it's very important when we give our body enough protein. It's very important that, it let the white blood cell and red blood cell function properly so that we strengthen our immune system to fight against the virus. So it's very important for antibody function, formation, and repair of cells. And spirulina is one of the richest source of protein source that we can get. And number two, contains phycocyanin. So phycocyanin is also very rare that you can find in any other plants or animals, because it's only available in the blue-green algae. So this phycocyanin, we have a lot of clinical studies shows that it helps to boost immune system. So it has the antivirus, antibacterial, antifungi, and anti-parasitic properties. So again, it's very important, especially for now, that it helps us to have the antiviral property to boost, to help our immune system to fight against the virus. So next question. So are there any research on immunomodulatory effect of spirulina? Is there some research or any clinical studies to show that spirulina is effective? Yes, actually, there are a lot. I just show you a few of it only. So for example, this is one of it in the 2020 last year in the European Journal of the Pharmaceutical and Medical Research. So it shows that spirulina platensis as an immunity booster for the present situations. Yeah, it shows that it's inevitable to find such immune booster to stay away from the disease. And because of the spirulina is very rich in protein, vitamin, mineral, and carotenoid, it acts as an immunity booster, especially important for now. So inside the studies also mentioned that this spirulina platensis, it has a potential activities against the envelope RNA virus. So it can be used against the novel coronavirus as a preventing measure. Yeah, of course, if we want to make ourselves safe and healthy, we want to take as a preventive measure. I don't think we want to, wait until something happen or when we are very high risk, then only we start to think of how to boost our immune system. So prevention is always better than cure. I mean, we can't avoid the virus, but it's important that we do some preventive measure. So it also mentions that it has a lot of usage in the medical field, antiviral, anti-AIDS activity, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial. So a lot of benefits. So the other studies here from the Scholars Journals of Applied Medical Science in 2014, it also mentions that spirulina, it helps to boost immunity and increase resistance to various infections. So it also very high in antioxidant and well known for the anti-cancer actions. So it's also very important. Spirulina also helps us to combat some of the metabolic disease like diabetes, hypertension, anemia, and others. So you can read some of the health benefits here, like protection of the liver, kidneys, improvement of blood quality, prevention of anemia, benefits for diabetes, reduction in blood pressure, have to removal of heavy metals from the body, radio protections, prevention of liver and renal toxicity, antioxidant actions, immune protection, relief in allergic reactions. So undoubting benefits about spirulina. Another one. So this article in 2008 also says that spirulina became famous after it's used by NASA as a dietary supplement for the astronauts to bring on their space missions. So it's important that it helps to modulate the immune function. It has anti-inflammatory properties by inhibiting the release of histamine by mast cells. So again, it highlights that it has anti-cancer, antiviral, and anti-allergic effects. So it's a lot, too many. So the other also mentions that there are effects of spirulina on anemia and immune function in senior citizen. Yeah, so we all, like I mentioned previously, so when we get elderly, the immune function start to drop. Yeah, so spirulina can actually help, to boost up the immune system, yeah, and to reduce any inflammations, yeah, and it's anti-aging properties as well. Yeah. So, and of course, there are many books that we have summary that spirulina has too many benefits that we can't really read one by one here, but you can see here, it helps to resist fatigue, is food for the brain. Yeah. So you can also realize that if some of the kids, they start, if you feed them since young, or especially when you're pregnant, they start to take spirulina from young, they tend to can focus better, they tend to able to study, get better result, yeah, because they can focus better, their brain have enough food, yeah. And also it's anti-aging, like I mentioned, every one of us we want anti-aging, yeah. So because of the high SOD, so it actually helps on anti-aging. It also helps us in our memory. Wow. I saw prevent formation of wrinkles, black spot, and gray hair. Yes, everyone needs this. And improve anemia. So this is also all by clinical study. It shows that spirulina, the B12 content actually is 250% higher than any other food. So it helps a lot of people who have anemia problems or people who have thalassemia. We have many testimonies that it has helped them. So everyone who has similar problem or vegetarians, please share this with them, because vegetarian, they cannot get the B12 from animal liver. So spirulina is best for them. And like I mentioned, spirulina also help improve malnutrition problems. So again, when we talk about protein, some people may say, oh, I can also get from the meat or other things, but when we take from the meat, it's not 100% digestible. Yeah, so when it ends up that it can work in our body, maybe it's less, like 10 or 20%. But spirulina is made out of 65% protein and 95% digestible, meaning whatever we take is as high as 95% it can be used by our body. Yeah, and it naturally contains the digestive enzyme to help it easier for us to absorb and for our body to use it. Yeah, it's also very effective for people who are on diet. Yeah. And what else? Improve indigestions. Yeah, so it's very good also for people who have a gastrointestinal health concern. It can really help them to strengthen the immune system. Yeah, so many here also. The 7 mentions that it helps to reduce gastroenteropathy, to reduce gastric ulcer. So especially good for people who have a high acidic, gastric problems. Spirulina is 100% alkaline. You have to neutralize the gastric juice to protect our stomach wall. Yeah. Seriously, for the past 26 years, we have seen many people with gastric problem. Please share this amazing product with them, because it will definitely help them. Yeah. And number 8 is the help to combat radiation sickness. Yeah, so in Russian scientists also, they use spirulina to relieve the radiation illness and patented its usage as a medical food, because they realized the phycocyanin content, it helped to release the allergy caused by radiation poisoning. Yeah, so it's also very great for us, and it helps to improve allergic. So if you have any friends who have any allergy related problem, like rhinitis, sinus, or any of the skin allergy, is also very helpful. And number 10, it helps to purify the blood. So because of the very high content of the chlorophyll, so it helps as a blood purifier. Yeah, because chlorophyll actually is very good for hemoglobin. Yeah, so with this, actually, it helps to reduce those toxicity or the pollutants that has been accumulated in our kidney and liver. Yeah, and it's also very good for weight control. Yeah, and spirulina is also very good to resist eye tiredness, especially when we are now locked down at home. We are always looking at the phone or the computer. So with the very high content of the beta carotene and zeaxanthin, actually help to protect our eyes. Yeah, and it actually help to reduce the sensitivity to light. Yeah, so of course, for every one of us, for our kids, yeah, it's actually very important. And number 13, the therapeutic effect, yeah, because of the very high protein content, yeah, so it's a very useful, and it can be used by our body 100%, yeah, compared to the meats, whereas only 20% protein can be used, yeah. So there is many, okay. So the most important point I want to share tonight is how is Alkan Spirulina different from other similar products? Yes, we all know that in the market there's many different brands of the Spirulina. Some are cheaper, some you can get from different source. But yes, we want to share with you, especially now when we want to take something that is for our loved one, for our kids, for our parents. Of course, I think we want to choose something that is quality and is all the safety is reassured. Yeah, because we don't want to take something that it will cause any risk to our body for a long term. So Alkan Spirulina for the past 26 years is one of the most trusted brand in Malaysia. It has been ranked #1 for 10 years consecutively in Malaysia. So it's also 100% organic. It's endorsed by scientists, supported by 12 clinical studies, and we get so many local and international awards. Let me share with you one by one. So number 1, the prestigious records like I mentioned. More than 26 years of trust here in Alkan Spirulina. Yes. So although we have launched in Philippines just few years, but in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, more than 20 years and more than millions of satisfied consumers that we have built throughout the years. So, and in Malaysia, we have also get a few times of the health and wellness brand awards here. So the safety, the popularity is assured. Yeah. And number 2, which is also very important, that we have to look at is certified 100% organic. So I have to highlight here. So in the market, we all know that there is different definition or category of organic. There is normal, there is 70%, 80%, 90%. I will tell you, very difficult and very rare to get 100% organic. So if you happen to check or compare the other brand in the market, very rare that you can find 100%. I will tell you why. You know how hard it is to get this certified 100% organic? So I'm going to show you, these are the 50 tests, 50 no's, during the cultivation period, the processing, the handling. They have to make sure that there's no contaminants. Every single test mentioned here has to be a no. Only then it can certify 100% organic. For example, when we look at the cultivation area, when we actually cultivate the spirulina in a man-made pool, in a clean pool, so it has to make sure that it has to be open boundaries, and the nearby zone cannot have other industrial or commercial areas. We must set up a physical barriers to prevent contact or prevent contamination from the water or the soil nearby, and strictly no use of any synthetic substance, no herbicide, no pesticide, no fertilizer, no growth regulator. Sorry, too many. And it has no contact with those non-agricultural substance, and cannot contact with all the non-organic things. So anything that is non-organic cannot be with contact with the cultivation area, the pool itself. Very difficult. And B, we look at the cultivation process. From the seed itself, the spirulina seed cultures for cultivation, it must be from the organic seed cultures and cannot use any GMO technology. And then we look at the quality of the water itself. We have to be compulsory analyze the water quality every 6 months. Very stringent requirement to improve the water quality, and its natural method only, cannot use synthetic method. And the pest management, all the chemical things are not allowed to use, no animal repellents, but they have to find ways to use a natural way to maintain the quality of the water. And no growth promoter, cannot at all, have to, because why? We have to preserve the essential nutrients in the crops, in the algae itself. And maintenance of the cultivation pool it has to prevent contamination by virus, bacteria, fungi, parasite, and other thing. Any other industrial pollution, fertilizer, all they have to check. No contamination of heavy metal. Very difficult. Most difficult, they have to even make sure that they cannot destroy the biodiversity. They have to maintain the biodiversity as cultivation, so they cannot use any synthetic substance that will affect the soil and the water quality nearby. Oh. And there we look at the processing. The processing also, they cannot have any other additional or sulfate, nitrates, all these things that it could be added in the processing in some other brands of the products, but all these are not allowed. And the handling and storage also cannot have any contact with non-organic ingredients, and cannot have the exposure of packaging material to any synthetic fungicide or any preservative. No, so difficult. And the last part, all these records have to keep properly for at least 5 years and above. And to the final product, they have to ensure that, make sure they do the test of the total microbial count, every single batch they have to make sure no microcystin inside. Yeah, a lot of all these studies have to keep for many years. Then only it can certify these 100% organic. So how hard it is, and you can't really get from any other way. But why organic is normally cost higher? No, normally if today you go supermarket, you can buy a very cheap apple from market. You can also buy a very high quality organic apple from the supermarket. Why there is difference in the cost? Because of all this process. And when the fruits and vegetables or this plant itself is organically grown, it can help to maintain the nutrients as high as possible. That's why not all spirulina are the same, because all these cultivation method matters. So I will show you with clinical studies later. So this is the clean cultivation pool that I talk about. Yes. And number 3, uniqueness is a renowned founder. So we have Professor Kyung Kudo, the father of Alkan spirulina. He spent nearly 30 years in spirulina research. And now that he passed to his son, Dr. Yasumasa Kodo, he's the 2nd generation researcher of Alkan spirulina. He studied in US, UK, Japan, and now it's the PhD. And he's focused and do a lot of clinical study just for Alkan spirulina. So now I just want to show you a short video that Dr. Yasumasa will share with you how Alkan spirulina can help in immune system.
Research studies have shown that the spirulina enhances the immune system. One of the research results in Japan suggested that the spirulina enhances the immune response, particularly the prime response, by stimulating the functions, phagocytosis, and interleukin-1 production. Another result demonstrated that some types of polysaccharide of the spirulina can improve both the non-specific function of cellular immunity and the specific hormonal immunity. Several research results also found that the polysaccharide of the spirulina inhibit the invasion of several kinds of virus, such as herpes and influenza. Alkan spirulina can enhance immune system of body.
Yes. So again, Dr. Yasumasa has did many studies, and it shows that spirulina can help to increase our immune system. Yeah. So I continue to share with you some other national, international awards that we have get. So imagine this is a spirulina with multiple awards, from the research development to cultivation, pre-production, post-production, packaging, distribution, 18 awards. So where else you find a spirulina in the market? How many awards your spirulina have? My spirulina has 18 awards, okay? And I want to share with you one of the very important one is this certification from JHFA, Japan Health Food Authorization. So we all know that Japan, they set very high quality or standard to all the food or health food, anything. So in Japan, even in Japan itself, only 30% of the health food able to get this award every 2 years. Every 2 years they will go to the market random check and then check the sample and to ensure that whether the quality is well maintained. And the good thing is, for the past 26 years, Alkan Spirulina has been getting this certified from JHSA for the past 26 years. So we are very rest assured that the quality is very, very high. So the last part I want to share with you is number 5, the 12 analysis and clinical studies. Remember I mentioned, not all spirulina are the same. Why we are so confident and we can actually do all these tests with our spirulina is because all the stringent process we show you just now is 100% organic, so it preserves as much nutrients as it is. Yeah, so this is study number 1. So it shows that spirulina actually helps to lower the LDL, the bad cholesterol, by 78.9%. So this is conducted by Dr. Yasumasa as well, compared to people who did not take the spirulina. So all these are proven. And study number 2, spirulina actually shows that because of the high SOD, the superoxide dismutase content, actually helps to slow down the aging process by almost 50%. Wow, that's why you can see all the presidents here. You can see our president, Miss Pang here. They are taking spirulina for so long and they still look young. Yes. And I'm glad that I've been taking spirulina for the past 12 years. Yeah. So SOD is very important to fight against free radicals. It's very high antioxidant, also to prevent cancer. And study number 3, it also shows that spirulina can help to have 16% increase in improving gastrointestinal microflora. Yeah, so again, it also helps on our gastrointestinal health as well. And study number 4, it helps to reduce fatty liver disease by up to 50%. So this is for people who have actually taken the spirulina for 6 weeks. It actually shows that spirulina is effective to protect against liver damage. So it's very, very good. And study number 5, it helped to increase the concentration of beta-carotene in blood by about 3 times. So why these studies conduct? Because like I mentioned, people who smoke or who drink alcohol, the beta-carotene, could be very low because of the high free radicals. So beta-carotene actually help to combat free radicals. And these studies, they actually check the concentration of beta-carotene in our blood. Meaning what? Meaning that whatever we take from the alkaline spirulina, because it's so digestible and it's all absorbed by our body, that's why it can be detected in the blood. It can help to increase the concentration 3 times higher. So for people who are already affected and a lot of free radicals, it's very good for them. And study number 6, so we actually, Dr. Yasumasa also compared the alkaline spirulina to some other brand in the market. So it shows that alkaline spirulina, the beta-carotene content is 3 times higher than this brand B in the market. What does this mean? So meaning that when I take 10 tablets of spirulina, I can get this amount of beta-carotene, but for the other brand in the market, I need to take 3 times, 30 tablets more to get equivalent amount of beta-carotene. That's why I'm so confident with our alkaline spirulina for so long. Yes, and beta-carotene, like I mentioned, is how to deactivate free radicals, a lot of benefits, prevent cancer as well. And the other analysis shows that it has 3 times higher in vitamin. Again, that is why alkaline spirulina is the #1 choice in Malaysia, where so many consumers, because when they take different brand or they know the difference because of the very high, very concentrated nutrients in alkaline spirulina. And the other analysis also shows that the phycocyanin content is double than the other spirulina. Remember, I mentioned just now phycocyanin. Phycocyanin is very important. They're only found in blue-green algae. So yes, some other friends, they may say some of the spirulina is cheaper, but you see, they need to take double the amount to get the same amount of phycocyanin content compare alkaline spirulina. And phycocyanin is very important, especially now, to antiviral and to boost our immune system. Yes. And analysis number 9, double the chlorophyll content. So again, with taking alkaline spirulina, I feel safe here. The chlorophyll content is so double than the rest. So it's very good for people with anemia, thalassemia, all these problems here. And analysis number 10, over 50% higher in protein. So although I mentioned spirulina is very good, very rich protein source, but it doesn't mean that all brand of spirulina can give you same amount of protein. Why? Because the process, the cultivation process, the processing technology, it all will cause the loss of nutrients if it's not taken care well. So alkaline spirulina, again, is close to 50% higher compared to other brand of protein. So that's why we are so blessed that we have alkaline spirulina. Yeah, and again, when we compare to animal-based protein, of course, plant-based protein in the long run, less side effect can give us better health benefit and no other growth hormones, and it's also good for vegetarian. Analysis number 11, okay, more minerals compared to other brands. Wow. So it means that not all spirulina can give us 18 minerals, when Dr. Yasumasa conduct this trial compared to the other brand, non-organic. So he find that, yes, all these calcium ions, these 8 minerals, yes, is available in all 3 brands. But let's look at the next slide. So when we look at the zinc, chrome, yes, and then you start to see all these red color cross, it means that it's not available in the other brand of non-organic spirulina. But these minerals is all found in alkaline spirulina. Why? Because of the processing difference. So that's why we are so confident. And analysis 12, more vitamins. And again, not all spirulina contain the same amount of vitamin. So alkaline spirulina contain all these, you can see B3 here, you see a cross there in other brand, because some other brand, they may have lost some of the vitamin during the process. And you can see here also vitamin K, which is also important now. Yeah, all these are in spirulina, but some of this is not in other brand. Yeah. And the last one, compare alkaline spirulina with multivitamin. So like I mentioned earlier, we all know multivitamin, it's all synthesized in the lab that people put vitamin A, B, C, D, and put together to make it multivitamin. Yeah, that's why last time, even after I studied food science and I graduate, actually, I don't have intention to get any multivitamin because it's synthesized. But I know spirulina is natural, is natural with the enzyme present, is very high bioavailability and high digestibility. And I know something natural, meaning that I can take long term without any side effect. And that's why I'm so confident with alkaline spirulina. So that's why in the past 26 years, we have so many loyal consumers. We have people that benefit them for 3 generations, meaning from the grandson to the daughter to the grandmother, they are all taking this. And we have organic loyal consumers since 1996. Too many here in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Brunei. And in Philippines, even though we have launched just few years, we have also gathered a lot more testimonies. Yeah, which we will share with you one by one. I mean, later we can viral all this to you for your knowledge. And last thing, the recommended consumptions, of course, is recommended to take 2 to 3 times daily before meals, better. And for adults, you can take around 5 to 10 tablets each time. Children, 1 to 4 tablets. So, and I just want to answer some of the questions people may ask. Could there be any possible reaction after taking spirulina? So there is possible because of some of the healing reactions. So everyone body react differently. Why? Because when our body is suddenly given the complete nutrients, so our body needs time to adjust. So let's say certain people, they may have fever, they may have excited, they may, feel sleepy, nausea, depends, all these are possible is because of, we already have this underlying problem previously. But when we start to take this spirulina, it starts to adjust our body. So it's good. Actually, it's good news that your body starts to react. And then what we should do is actually should drink more water. If can, we also take together with lactose for detox so that our body can absorb better. Drink more water and continue the consumptions. And until later, when we feel okay, then we can slowly increase the consumption, maybe to 5 tablets 2 times or 10 tablets 2 times later. But when we have no reaction, it doesn't mean that the spirulina is not working. It simply means that our body is actually okay, healthy. That is why, like for me, I don't feel anything now. Even I can take 50 tablets a day, no problems. Yeah. So all these are the healing process. Don't worry. Yeah. So I hope I give you some insights about alkaline spirulina, and I will pass back to our host to hear from our 3 testimony sharers.
All right, so thank you, Miss Jo, for sharing about alkaline spirulina to everyone, and talagang full of learnings, di ba po, no? Thank you again, Miss Jo. And now, let us listen sa ating mga sharer tonight. So let's start sa ating first sharer, millennial entrepreneur, also one of the famous TikTokers na siya ngayon, no? Famous na po siya, no? We will declare. Let us all welcome Ma'am Pamela. Hello, Ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening po. Good alkaline morning, everyone. Nahiya naman ako sa famous Sir Mark. So thank you po sa napakagandang introduction. Ako po pala si Pamela Joy Marquez, one of the 2-star directors po ng Alkaline Global Philippines. But now, I am here in Dubai. So I will just share with you yung my testimony ko dahil nag-COVID positive po ako dito sa Dubai last January 19, 2021. So paano ko po ba nakuha yung COVID na to? Natira po kasi ako sa bed space, so yung area namin sobrang liit, and yung isa sa mga kasamahan ko sa bahay nag-positive. So after nun, may mga symptoms na pala siya before siya magpa-swab. Tapos so ayun, after lumabas ng result, syempre nagpanic kami. Ano ba yung mga dapat naming gawin? So nagpa-swab din kami, and January 19 nga naka-receive kami ng message from the hospital na positive nga kami. So ayun, grabe yung naramdaman ko, kasi akala ko, kasi before pa kami mag-positive, nagdadiarrhea na ako, saka parang barado na yung ilong ko, pero hindi ko alam na yun pala din yung mga sign ng COVID. Tapos yun syempre yung na-feel ko kasi yung January 19, 2021 is yung first death anniversary ng papa ko. So grabe yung depression, yung anxiety, grabe yung nararamdaman ko, kasi alam niyo naman, 'di ba, pag COVID, parang ang hirap labanan kahit alam mo naman na malakas ka. So ano ba yung mga symptoms ko nga? Yun nga po yung diarrhea and talagang baradong ilong pero wala ka namang mailalabas. Yun, hindi ka talaga makahinga. Kaya thankful talaga ako sa spirulina and colostrum. So tinake ko lang yung, before pa, nagte-take na ako ng colostrum pero 3 tablets a day lang. Pero nung nalaman ko nag-positive ako, 5 tablets morning and evening. So talagang inaano ko na labanan yung COVID, kasi kailangan ko ng palakasin yung resistensya ko. So ayan po yung nag-take ako ng spirulina 5 times sa umaga, 5 times sa gabi. Pero after 3 days, kasi lumalakas ako, pero dahil nga naka-bed space ako, nagbubukas yung aircon, yung mga kasamahan ko, yung area namin, bumabalik ulit yung sakit ko. Yung parang after ng gabi, paggising ko, malata na naman ako, kasi nga yung area namin, ikot-ikot lang yung air, maliit pa. So lahat talaga kami nag-positive. 8 po kami nakatira dun sa bahay, and 8 po kami nag-positive, di ba? Bahay ng COVID positive. So yun, grabe yung pinagdaanan namin. So after 7 days, after 3 days, nag-increase ako ng spirulina sa colostrum. 10 tablets sa umaga, 10 tablets sa tanghali, 10 tablets sa gabi. Talaga nag-increase ako, kasi sabi ko mahirap na ako makarecover, kasi nga lahat kami positive, and yung air talaga isa lang, and talaga mahahawa ka na mahahawa, kahit gumaling ka, mahahawa ka pa rin. Pero dahil nga nag-increase ako, after 6 days or 7 days, naka-recover na ako, samantalang yung ibang mga kasamahan ko sa buhay, nag-nebulizer na, talagang sobrang hirap na sa paghinga. Pero thankfully, dahil nakaligtas kaming 8 na makaligtas sa COVID. So grabe yung experience na to. Tapos syempre alam niyo naman yung iba sa inyo na laman na yung background ko na na-hospital nga ako for 1 month. So alam ko na talaga sobrang hina ng immune system ko. But nagpapasalamat ako sa Elken Spirulina dahil before pa, after ko ma-aksidente, tinulungan na niya ako palakas yung immune system ko. Kaya ngayon mas lalo kaming tinulungan dahil nung nag-positive naman ako. Dahil nalabanan na naman yung COVID virus, di ba? Grabe yung COVID virus. But thankfully talaga nakaligtas ako dahil sa colostrum and spirulina. So grabe, thank you talaga sa Elken dahil pinapalakas na yung immune system ko, may income pa, may self-confidence pa, lahat na binibigay ni Elken. So kaya thankful talaga ako sa Elken dahil dumating siya sa buhay ko. I hope nakakatulong ako and na-inspire ko kayo. And thank you everyone and God bless us all. Back to you, Sir Mark.
Alright, so thank you Ma'am Pam, no? Talagang thank God and thank Elken Spirulina dahil po kay Elken Spirulina gumaling po siya no after 6 days. Okay, sabi po ni Ma'am G. Romero, let's take so, okay, so ating second sharer po, no? Ito po ating second sharer for tonight, no? She is a master teacher. Let us all welcome and listen to Ma'am Charito Cruz. Hello Ma'am Charito, good evening po.
Hi, hello. Good Elken morning, everyone. I am Chari Cruz from Marilao, Bulacan, and a public school teacher from Mekawayan, Bulacan. Okay, ang husband ko po is a bank employee and mayroon po kaming 3 anak. Isa pong 20 years old, 18, and then yung pong bunso is 13 years old. Please allow me to share po yung experience ko about this amazing product, yung atin pong Elken Spirulina. So, almost 2 years na po kaming umiinom ng Elken Spirulina. Since po na si Ma'am Tetel, yung akin pong upline, ay inintroduce po niya ito noong 2019. So that time meron po kaming mga health problems na kailangan pong ma-address. Kaya po sabi ko, sige, i-try natin na uminom nitong Elken Spirulina. So ako po kasi nung panahon na yon ay meron po akong yung vertigo po, yung po bang pagkonting na stress, pagkonting yung napuyat na ako, talaga pong yung pag sinumpong na yung vertigo ko, yung talagang mga 1 to 2 days na hindi po ako makabangon kasi pag konting galaw ko lang ng ulo ko, parang umiikot yung buong mundo ko, umiikot yung buong paligid ko. And madalas po ay tumataas po yung aking blood pressure na akala ko naman talagang normal na lang din yun sa mga tulad ko na nagkakaedad na. Okay. At yun naman pong husband ko, diabetic po siya. And bukod po sa diabetic siya, kidney donor po siya. So yung pong isang kidney niya ay binigay niya doon sa kanyang brother. Kaya po talagang kailangan po ay sobrang ingat sa lahat, sa pagkain, so marami po na talagang kailangan ang todo-todong pag-iingat. And yun po namang isa kong anak, yung second son ko po ay medyo po talagang yung sakitin. Kasi pinanganak ko po ito, yung premature, 8 months po. Sabi po nung pedya, nung panahon na yun talaga pong pag ganyan, medyo mahina talaga yung katawan ng bata. Kaya hanggang sa medyo lumaki na siya, nag-teenager. So ngayon nga po ay 18 years old na siya. Noon po meron siyang asthma at saka yung may enlargement of the heart. So yun nga po, tinry lang muna namin yung Elken. So mga first 2 weeks po, nakita namin na medyo maganda ang effect nito sa amin. Unti-unti po yung mga nararamdaman namin, nawala. Umayos yung pakiramdam namin na yung dati po, lagi lagi ako na high blood, ganyan, medyo nagno-normalize na yung aking BP. At yung pong husband ko, sabi niya, simula nung uminom siya niyan ay na dati lagi siya nang lalata or yung para bang umaga pa lang pagod na pakiramdam niya sa biyahe pa lang, ganyan. Dahil nga po, lalo na pag tumataas yung kanyang sugar level. Noon pong nakita namin na okay nga, tinuloy-tuloy lang po namin yung pag-inom ng Elken Spirulina, pati po yung dalawa ko pang anak, pinainom ko na rin kahit sila ay wala namang mga sakit, pero ginawa po namin ito na parang ito yung vitamins namin. Araw-araw, ito yung iniinom namin. Noong umpisa po, isa-isang tablet lang ang inom namin. So yung mga bata, isang tablet. Na sumunod po kaming mag-asawa, twice a day na kung uminom kami hanggang naging 5 times or 5 tablets a day na. Kami po mag-asawa ay 5 tablets a day kung uminom. Then yung po mga bata, 2 tablets a day. Then, sabi nga po, kasi kailangan palakasin natin ang ating immune system. Lalo na po ngayong panahon na to na may pandemic. Kaya po, continuously ang aming pag-inom ng spirulina and dinagdaga ko pa rin ng IG6 para po lalo pang maboost ang aming immune system. So, maganda naman po ang naging effect nito sa amin. Yung mga konting mga ubo, sipon, hindi na po namin pinoproblema yon. But kasi nga po itong panahon natin ngayon, hindi natin nakikita yung ating mga kalaban, yung virus. Last April po, dahil po kaming mag-asawa ay required pa rin na pumunta po mag-work. So ako po bilang teacher, kahit po work from home, pero twice a week po, nagre-report pa rin kami sa school para po magbigay ng mga learning materials sa mga learners namin. Tapos po, yung husband ko po, everyday siyang pumapasok sa bangko para po, kasi hindi naman po pwedeng mag-stop or magsara yung bangko. So, sa ganun po, marami siyempre mga tao na nakakasalamuhan natin, hindi naman natin alam kung sino dyan yung mga may sakit or ano. So, yun pong husband ko ay nung last April lang, itong 2021, nag-positive po. So, marami po sila sa bangko, dun sa sa branch nila na nag-positive. So nung po syempre nung nag-positive siya, nag-isolate na siya or ano. Syempre po kami po ay direct contact. Kami din po ay nagpa-test. Nung nagpa-test kami, lahat din kami ay nahawa na pala. So syempre po COVID yan, nakakatakot talaga. Pero sabi ko, kasi pakiramdam ko naman kaya namin kasi parang ala naman akong si husband ko po asymptomatic siya, then kami very mild lang po ang naramdaman namin. So yung kami po mag-iina ay nagkaroon lang ng konting sinat, ganon, sinat po na after 1 day nawala na yung sinat namin. Tapos naman po nawalan kami ng panlasa at saka nawalan na rin po kami ng pangamoy. Pero after a week naman, bumalik na rin yun. At saka, noon pong panahon na yun, nagpapasalamat po kami sa Diyos na ayun nga po, mild lang ang naranasan namin, naramdaman namin. Hindi namin kinailangan na mapunta sa hospital at nag-home quarantine lang po. And patuloy lang po yung pag-inom namin ng spirulina na narinig ko nga dati, nag-share na po yung si Ma'am Tetel na sinabi niya yung husband niya noon, ganun ang ginawa, uminom ng 10 spirulina sa morning, 10 sa tanghali, then 10 sa gabi. So kami pong nung husband ko, ganun lang ang ginawa namin. So sa awa naman nga po ng Diyos, after 2 weeks po, nung tinest kami, nag-negative na po kami lahat. Okay. And after 21 days, nakabalik na po kami sa work. So diyan lang po, dahil po diyan, nagpapasalamat po ako na nakilala ko po si Elken. Gusto ko po magpasalamat sa Elken product, lalo na po sa Spirulina, na for helping our family to have a strong and healthy body. Okay, and nagpapasalamat din po ako. Gusto ko po magpasalamat din, syempre po, kay Ma'am Tetel sa aking upline na si Ma'am Tetel na siya po yung nag-introduce sa akin dito sa Elken Products, at saka isinama na rin niya ako dito sa business na to. So, yun nga pong nakita ko nga po yung pong co-teacher ko nito lang last month. Meron akong co-teacher na nag-positive din silang buong mag-anak. Dahil narinig na nga nila yung kwento namin na gano'n, wala naman kaming ibang gamot na ininom. Tapos kung iisipin nga po, yung husband ko talagang medyo dahil isa na lang yung kidney niya, diabetic pa siya. Tapos yung isang anak ko nga po may asthma, may enlargement of the heart, na wala naman kaming ginawang ibang gamot, kundi yan lamang Spirulina, naging okay naman kami. Kaya po nung silang mag-anak nagkaroon din, tawag siya agad na pwede bang padalhan mo rin kami dito niyan para makainom kami. So nakakatuwa naman po, di ba, na sa pag-share po natin na to, ay meron po tayong mga natutulungan na mga tao para din maging healthy sila. And also, gusto ko din po magpasalamat syempre po kila Ma'am Ann at saka kay Ma'am Bullet na talagang lagi pong nandyan, kasama po si Ma'am Tetel. And of course, thank you po sa Elken Global for making great products katulad po nitong Elken Spirulina, at marami po pong mga ibang products that really helps a lot in improving our health and lifestyle. So yun lang po, and good Elken morning. Thank you po.
Yan. So thank you po, no, Ma'am Chari, no, for sharing your experiences about sa pag-take ng Elken Spirulina. So once again, thank you po, Ma'am Chari Cruz. And last but not the least na mag-share po sa atin tonight, no? She is a pediatrician. Let us all welcome, hello Doc, Mary Jane Untoy. Hello Doc. Good evening po.
Hello po. Yan. Hello. Good Elken morning, everyone. Gising pa po ba tayo lahat? I'm sure, oo, no? Kasi napakagaganda po ng mga testimonies ng ating mga ka-Elkenians. And of course, naipakita sa atin ni Miss Jo kung gaano ka-effective, kakumpleto, at kung gaano kataas ang quality ng ating Elken Spirulina. No? So this evening, I was also given the task to share to all of you kung ano yung naging experience ng family ko regarding sa pagpapaboost ng immune system ng ating mga products, no? And I'm very happy to share sa inyong lahat na talagang very effective po ang ating Elken Spirulina when it comes to boosting our immune system, no? So kami po, kahit mga doctors kami, hindi po kami na-spare sa COVID, no? Napakatapang po ni COVID because of our constant exposure to our patients, no? Hindi po namin maiwasan na magkaroon ng ganitong karamdaman. And in fact, my husband is also a victim of COVID last March, no? Ito lang, itong March 2021 when he had a moderate case of COVID. So initially, no, nagkaroon po siya ng lagnat for almost 3 days, no, inuubo-ubo ng konti. Pero syempre, minamanage namin yan as simple flu, no? And nung hindi pa rin nawawala yung fever niya, we decided to do laboratory test nagpa-CBC, nagpa-chest x-ray, and it turned out to be viral in origin, and also meron na rin siyang na pneumonia. Yung pneumonia niya initially was only mild, no? And syempre, as doctors, no, during that time, no, so hindi rin namin ma-admit sa aming mga sarili na baka COVID to. So what we did is we treated, no, him, no, so ginamot namin siya, naggamutan kami, no, sa bahay. Kaya lang, unfortunately, no, after a week, nilalagnat pa rin siya. So sabi ko sa kanya, mukhang iba na yan, baka COVID na yan. Kailangan mag-test na tayo, magpa-RT-PCR tayo. Sabi niya, hindi to COVID. Sabi ko, no, we have to undergo the laboratory so that alam natin kung anong gagawin natin. No? So finally, no, after convincing him na kapag pa-RT-PCR siya, and it turned out to be positive. No? So bilang doktor, kasi nga nagagamot naman siya ng mga COVID patients, talagang nag-a-attend siya ng mga pasyente sa mga hospital, so siguro doon niya nakuha yun. Not to mention na during that time, I was running for the diamond rank, so medyo wala ako sa clinic, so parang kahit pa paano, napagod siya, napabayaan ko siya, so sabi ko, it's about time for us na magpa-admit ka na. Kaya lang, sabi niya, hindi, kaya ko to. Kasi nga, nag-handle naman siya ng COVID, so alam niya kung paano i-treat ang sarili niya. So nag-IV kami sa bahay, nagamot kami ng remdesivir, and all the things na kailangan niya as COVID management. Pero hindi pa rin namin inaalis ang aming mga supplements na almost 1 year na po kaming umiinom ngayon, more than a year. And unfortunately, despite of the management that we tried, no, nahirapan pa rin siyang huminga. In fact, bumaba ang oxygen level niya up to 84%, which is very dangerous at that time, no? So actually iniyakan ko na siya, sabi ko, magpa-admit ka na kasi parang hindi ideal ang setting natin dito sa clinic. Kailangan mo ng tamang management, baka may kulang pa para ma-save ka, sabi ko sa kanya. Initially, ayaw niya talaga. Kasi sabi niya, iniisip niya siguro kaya ko to. Nabuhay ko yung ibang tao, bakit hindi ko kayang buhay ng sarili ko? Parang ganon. Until siguro nung hindi na niya kaya, siya na yung nagsabi sa akin na, admit mo na ako. So that was the time na talagang sobrang depressed ako, sobrang down ako. Sabi ko, but I have to be strong. So we called our colleagues na baka pwede siyang ma-accommodate. So na-admit po siya sa ACE Medical Center. That was March, no? March 7. Yeah. So nung unang araw pa lang at the ER, yun mababa na yung oxygen niya, nag-80. Sabi ko, napakahirap ng sitwasyon na to. Sabi nila sa akin, Doktora, you have to sign a waiver that anuman ang mangyari sa iyo, walang pananagitan ng hospital kasi gusto mong magbantay sa asawa mo. Sabi ko sa kanila, walang ibang magbabantay at ako lang ang dapat na magbantay. Sabi nila sa akin, sigurado ka? Ikaw ang magbabantay sa asawa mo. Paano ka makapag-clinic? Paano yung ibang mga gagawin mo? Paano ang ikaw? Baka mahawa ka? Sabi nila sa akin. Sabi ko, matagal ko nang kasama yung asawa ko. Sabi ko gano'n. Ngayon ko pa ba siya iiwan? So no, sabi ko, nag-sign ako ng waiver. Sabi ko, ano man ang mangyari? Walang pananagutan ng hospital, kaya magka-COVID ako, kaya magkasakit ako. So talagang sinamahan ko siya in this battle. No? Alam mo, on the second day of admission, pang-ICU na siya. So naka-high flow na po kami, nag-convalescent plasma na, nag-tocilizumab na, yung mahal na gamot ngayon na sobrang mahal, grabe. Sabi nila sa akin, Doktora, we need to bring Dr. Ontoy to the ICU on the second day of hospitalization. Sabi ko sa kanya, sabi ko, gusto mo ba sa ICU? Sabi ko, kasi pag nasa ICU tayo, hindi ka na maalagaan doon. Sabi niya sa akin, no, I want to stay here with you. So ang ginawa namin, nag-sign na naman kami ng waiver, hindi po kami nagpa-ICU, pero nakiusap kami na all the machines na kailangan niya, ilagay nila sa room niya. So nilagay po nila yung cardiac monitor and also the high flow, no? So nung high flow po siya, aside from the management, no, and the expertise ng mga colleagues niya, actually he has 1, 2, 3, 4 doctors because he is also diabetic. No, so may maintenance siya, may comorbidity siya. So this is the problem with COVID, no? If you have comorbidities, no, it is more dangerous and more risky, no? So kaya nga natutuwa ako kay ma'am kanina, despite na yung kanyang husband is a kidney donor, no, hindi pa rin siya lumala. So it's a blessing indeed. So nung pang ICU na siya, so wala pa rin akong tigil sa pagdarasal. Ang hindi alam ng mga doctors na kasama ko is that hindi ako tumigil magbigay ng mga supplements na meron tayo, even without their orders, because I know that these supplements will help my husband. I did not stop giving them to him, no? So binigay ko ang spirulina 10 tablets 3 times a day, and the IG6 also. Ginawa ko rin siyang 10 tablets 3 times a day, and also the LX siyang 1 sachet 2 times a day. So within that 12 days period na I'm staying with my husband, no, na inaalagaan ko siya, I never experienced even a single symptom. Sabi nila, nagtataka sila, Doktora, ba't hindi ka nahawa? Doktora, ba't di ka nagkasakit? Simply because matagal na akong 1 year na akong umiinom ng ating supplements, and itinuloy ko pa rin siya during the time na nagbabantay ako sa hospital. So sabi ko, iba talaga ang ating products, no? When it comes to quality, when it comes to efficacy, 100%, or should I say more than 100% talaga ang efficacy nito. Kaya sabi ko, I will not stop sharing this product to all the people na makikilala ko, na makikita ko. No? Kasi sa totoo lang po, isang miracle ang nangyari sa aking asawa. No? Alam niyo po ba yung ibang mga doctors na naging kasabayan na namatay po sila? They succumb to death, no? Ako nagpapasalamat ako unang-una kay Lord sa taas, no? Second, sa mga doctors niya, and third sa Elken for giving us these very effective products, no? Kasi I know without this, no, baka hindi kami nakasurvive with that pagsubok na dumaan sa amin. No? Sabi ko pa nga sa kanya, kay Doc, sabi ko, alam mo, Doc, kaya ka siguro nagkaroon ng COVID, meron ka pang mission. No? And I know meron siyang purpose, merong purpose si Lord kung bakit nagkaroon ng COVID ang aking asawa at kung bakit siya nakasurvive. And alam niyo po ba, after 2 months of post-COVID, lumakas na siya agad. Hindi namin hininto yung LX yung spirulina, yung IG6. Meron pang swerte kami, nabigyan kami ng Alpha Hex. Thank you so much. Nakatulong po talaga ng malaki sa amin. No? So, alam niyo po ba, pag post-COVID na moderate to severe case, kailangan 3 to 6 months ang recovery. And after the moderate case of post-COVID, there are some complications na nangyayari sa patients, like cardiac arrest, stroke, no? Nagkakaroon pa ng cardiomyopathy, lumalaki ang puso. Yun yung pinabantayan ng cardio niya sa amin. Sabi niya, Jane, you should watch out, no, for cardiac complications sa husband mo, no? Baka mag-occur yan, hindi mo alam, no? So that's the time na sabi sa akin ni Doc Jerome, continue natin ang mga supplements na yan. So hindi po namin tinigil talaga, even until now. No? Yung LX tinutuloy namin. The spirulina, talagang hindi ko po yan tinitigilang inumin every day. Because we are still exposed to different kinds of patients. Alam niyo po ba na sa ngayon, dahil sa kagustuhan ni Doc na matulungan yung mga pasyente niya, nag-home care po kami. Nag-start kami last August, yung mga patients namin na hindi ma-accommodate ng mga hospitals. We did a home care with the help of the nurses ng mga kakilala namin. And nagpapasalamat kami kasi marami po ang gumagaling. No? So I think, sabi ko, ito siguro yung mission ni Lord para kay Doc, na kaya niya binigyan ng second life is for him to serve his patients, yung mga pasyente niya sa abot ng kanyang makakaya, no? At saka hindi ako talaga titigil ng kaka-recommend nito. In fact, 100% of our patients are given these supplements. And you know what? Yung mga mild to moderate cases, hindi po sila lumalala, gumagaling po sila. Kailan lang, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, no, one of my staff experienced loss of smell, headache, vomiting. So what I did, I gave her 1 bottle ng 240 IG 6 and 1 bottle of 500 tablets ng spirulina. Sabi ko sa kanya, anak, inumin mo to, 10 tablets 3 times a day, lahat yan. And then I just gave her some decongestants, mga antihistamines, no, acitro, kung ano yung basic na kailangan niya. And after 2 weeks, okay na siya. Ngayon nakakapasok na siya ulit. Hindi niya alam, ako rin, nakaramdam ako ng panlalata during the time nakasama ko siya. What I did, uminom ako ng 20 tablets ng spirulina in the morning, 10 at lunch, then 20 in the evening. Kinabukasan, okay na ako ulit. Kaya sabi ko, hindi ko to aalisin sa akin, sa aking family, no? Even my 2 sons, no? Kumakain yung mga yan, minsan once a day na lang ng rice, more on ano na sila, bread. Pero umaga pa lang, binibigyan ko na sila ng spirulina, ng IG6, no? Yung 2 anak ko. Yung parents ko, who are both senior citizens, no? Despite that my husband had the COVID disease, which is moderate during that time, no one, no? Wala isa man sa amin ang nagkaroon, no? Even my senior citizens parents and even my 2 sons, no? Maybe because they have a strong immune system. That's why a strong immune system really matters, no? Kaya swerte po tayong lahat dahil tayo ay na-introducean ng Elken products, no? So natutuwa po ako na Elken was also introduced to me by Sir Moses, and I'm very happy and thankful to the management for giving us this very effective products, no? We hope we can share this to the whole nation, no? To the whole world, no? Because marami po itong matutulungan, no? All our patients, admitted patients, patients with dengue, patients with pneumonia, patients with cancer, patients with difficulty of breathing secondary to asthma, all of them benefited from it. In fact, no, one of my co-doctor who just bought the 3125 points, Dr. Marcy, no, natuwa siya kasi initially she just tried the product, no? Sabi niya, I will just try it. Then syempre because organic, so doctors don't easily believe on these products unless na they have tried it for themselves, no? And during the time daw that her mother is in the ICU, no? She was the one also attending to her mother. Never daw siyang napagod. Never she experienced fatigue or weakness despite of the fact that she's not sleeping, no? Dahil inaalagaan niya yung anak, yung kanyang mother, no? So sabi niya, Jane, sabi niya, nung bandang huli siya na yung tumatawag sa akin, Dr. Jane, iba talaga si spirulina. Another thing, meron siyang pancreatic cancer patient. Alam niyo po ba, sabi niya, oh, uminom ka ng 5 tablets 2 times a day. Eh, hindi pala naintindihan ng patient. Ang akala niya, 5 sachet 2 times a day. So ang ginawa niya, uminom siya ng 50 tablets a day and 50 tablets in the evening. After drinking that, kinabukasan ang lakas-lakas ng pancreatic patient, ng pancreatic cancer patient na yon, no? So ganyan po kaganda ang ating product, no? Kaya natutuwa ako na ito ay binigay sa atin ni Lord at pinagsama-sama niya tayo dito dahil alam natin that by sharing this to our clients, to the people we know, we will be able to help them. No? So thank you so much for giving me the chance again to share to you my experience. Thank you, Sir Mark.
Thank you po, Doc Jane, no, for sharing your amazing and inspiring story to everyone. And also, Doc Jane, no, thank you for your time as well. And once again, thank you po sa ating mga sharers, si Ma'am Pam, si Ma'am Chari, and Doc Jane. Ayan, nandyan pa po ba kayo? Kung nandyan pa po ba kayo, please type 1. Sige daw. Gusto ko makita yan. Because no, we have one more information to everyone. No? Let us listen again to our Diamond Josephine Chong. Hello, Ma'am Josephine.
Thank you, Sir Mark. Well, I would like to say a big thank you to all our sharers, Sister Pamela, Ma'am Charito, and Dr. Jane. Especially, we know Dr. Jane is very busy and still willing to share this amazing testimony for us. Maraming salamat po. Thank you so much. Yes. So, I feel very touched by Dr. Jane's sharing. So it's really true that in this kind of pandemic, sometimes we really cannot escape from the virus, but we are so blessed that, we have something that we know. It can help us to protect our family, especially the senior parents, the kids, yeah. And especially when someone of our family or our loved one, get affected with the virus, we know what to do. We know, what product to recommend them. I think this is really a blessing. So we are also very blessed that now in Philippines here, we have the 3,000 tablets now ready. Wow, I'm so excited because, 12 years ago, when I first bought, the first thing I buy from Alcon is actually 3,000 tablets of Spirulina here. I actually never buy any other packaging before. Yeah, because why? Because I know that, this thing is so good. I must take it, and also for my family. So I buy the biggest bottle. Why? Because I know that I will get the biggest saving. Yeah. So for everyone who has a family, and especially now, the great news is here. So compared to, the 100 tablets Spirulina, where every tablet, it costs around 7.06 peso. So, for a family, let's say average, you have 2 adults, 2 kids, we recommend maybe around 5 tablets a day for the 2 kids, 10 tablets a day for the 2 adults. So roughly every day, around 30 tablets is needed. So when we calculate the cost of, we are getting from the 100 tablets, every day costs around 212 peso. But with the launching of these 3,000 tablets now, every day is only 136 peso, and every tablet is only 4.53 pesos. So it's a big saving. That's why I told you, never in my life, the 12 years, I buy any other smaller bottle before. No, I only buy these 3,000, and my customer also buy these 3,000 tablets. Why? Because it's a bigger saving for our whole family. You can see that it's as high as 36% saving compared to the normal small bottles. So who need these big bottles, Spirulina? I would say almost everyone. People who want to enjoy more saving, definitely this is your best choice. For people, who have a family, of course, one bottle of this is not enough. I can tell you, let's say if I buy this 100 tablets Spirulina, I put at home, maybe the mother or the parents, they will feel that, it must be so expensive, and if you ask them to take 10 tablets, maybe they'll just take every day 1 or 2 because it's so little. They're so little only. They're worried that they will finish the Spirulina we buy for them. Yeah. So when you give them a big bottle, it's different, So they feel safer. When you ask them to eat more, they were thinking, oh, I still have so many, I can eat more. They will not worry to eat more. Yeah, that is true, And for people, all of us who want to boost our immune system now, this is the best for now. And like I mentioned, with elderly and kids at home. So imagine, like Dr. Jen mentioned, even the husband got COVID, but thanks God that, the elderly parents and the kids who have weaker immune system, they are depending on us. Yeah, then it's good that we can let them all have this to protect them. And for people who work under stress, the immune system is weak, so they need this extra as well. And it's very good for people who want to get pregnant or who is pregnant, very good for them, very, very high nutrients. Or people who is semi-healthy, like they already have other underlying problems, like diabetes, high blood pressure, all this. Because like Dr. Jane mentioned, for people who already has all these underlying problems, when they get affected with the virus, chances that they may take longer period to recover, or they may tend to become more severe. Yeah, and Christmas is coming. It's also the best Christmas gift for our parents. Yeah, and if I'm staying away with my parents, actually, like I mentioned, it's the best gift for them. Last 2 months or so, one of the day, my father also told me he has close contact with the COVID patient and he's waiting for the result. When we are staying very far for them, with them, what we can do, is actually ask them to eat more product, eat more spirulina, eat more cholesterol. That is the best thing I feel that I can do for my family, for my parents for now. Yeah, and for people, of course, we want to protect our whole family from the virus. Get this spirulina with the 3,000 tablets. Why? So that more saving, and we don't need to worry. Very, we don't need to worry, or the parents don't need to worry. They have to save. They can only eat 1 or 2 when they eat from the small bottle. But when they eat from the big bottle, they just take the whole 1 cap. They can just eat. Yeah. The feeling is different. Yeah. So, and people who want to earn more, why? Because when you invest in 3,000, when you share, of course, then you can earn more and you can eat free. Okay. So how to eat this product free? And I know it's pandemic, a lot of people need this product. You just need to invest yourself 1 bottle of 3,000 tablets, and you just help 7 friends who also want to protect their family. And congratulations, your spirulina is considered almost free because you already earned 16,000 peso. And if you're thinking, seriously, I really want to keep sharing and help more people, just do it, keep sharing, and you help 13 friends who also all get this 1 bottle in 1 month. Wow, you earn a 51,000 peso income even just part-time. Yeah, so we really seriously hope that the sharing today can help you and all your friends, especially during this pandemic. And if you think that, well, I really think that it's a great product, I want to continue to sharing, just repeat this for 5 times. Every month you share to 14 friends. Repeat for 5 times. Congrats! You can even earn 1 free ticket to Kyoto. Yes. So all these are the additional benefits for all of us, for all the participants here today. And I want to share with you one but last good news. Remember just now I played a video about Dr. Yasumasa, the renowned founder. Wow. Guess what? We get the chance to hear from him personally, live this Saturday, 11 o'clock morning in Zoom in English. So, just now you think about, I want to look for 6 friends, I want to help for a lot of friends. Invite all of them, invite all the friends and family and prospect or customer that you have shared this before, because Dr. Yasumasa will again share more in depth with us his research about the spirulina and immunity. So that's all my sharing for today, and I wish everyone stay healthy, stay safe with Alkan Spirulina. God bless.
All right, so thank you, Ms. Jo, for your very wonderful presentation tonight. So to everyone, let us thank our diamond, Ms. Josephine Chong. Okay, so yan. And also thank you sa ating mga sharer tonight. And alam ko mayroon pa tayong aabangan tomorrow. So please mark your calendar tomorrow. Ayan po, makikita niyo sa screen. Yan. Okay, so tomorrow po yan, wag niyo makalimutan. Nakita niyo po. Of course, kasama po natin dito si no other than si Dr. Mary Jane Untoy, Siya po ang speaker natin sa ating Lactose S product launching, di ba? So maganda po to tomorrow. Kasama po natin your very own, Mark Ventura, ko po yan. And si Ma'am Marjorie. Yan. So kami po ay share tomorrow night. So please invite your friends, relatives, kapitbahay, silingan, kung sino man po madaanan nyo, invite nyo po dahil maganda po tomorrow. And on Thursday, kasama naman po natin dito our very own Diamond, Ma'am Isay Marana. Nagtatalk po siya about recruitment and foundation. Same time, same meeting ID, same passcode po yan. So please, kita-kits po tayo tomorrow and on Thursday. Okay, so our next So, ito po siya, no? Thank you, Ma'am Annalyn, no? At thank you for attending, sabi ni Ma'am Annalyn sa ating EB Plus sa kanilang OPP and product presentation. Kasama po yan, of course, no, ang ating mga leaders, no, sa ating Elchem Global Philippines. So, thank you, Ma'am Annalyn and team, Ma'am Isay and Ma'am Bulat, to everyone who have joined. And another good news po ito, no, kung gusto mo ng maraming testimony about Elchem products, please go to YouTube channel, mag-download ka po ng YouTube, no? Makikita mo yan sa Play Store and sa App Store. Please type pang Minfa channel, subscribe ka and click mo na rin yung notification bell para updated ka sa ilalabas na testimony videos diyan sa YouTube. So please subscribe po. And congratulations, no, to my Elite 650 Pro Builder, Ma'am Ludi Bautista, yan, no, kasama ko si Ma'am Isay. Congratulations po, Ma'am Ludi, sa iyong Elite 650. Congratulations po again. And another good news, yan, no, happy to serve Elchem Spirulina, pinadala po sa Abra, no, ni Ma'am Josie Silian. So yan, congratulations po sa Ma'am Josie and sa iyong friends. And next natin na good news, si Ma'am Eden, no, nag-share po siya via messenger sa client sa Japan, no. Ayan, so congratulations and Ma'am Rosalina, no, and Ma'am Eden. And meron po tayong orders sa Laguna kay Romaricos, order sa Laguna, and Rowena's order to Bulacan. Ang daming IG6 and Spirulina. And no, order po, no, yung Ma'am Maria Teresa, order sa Cavite, na-receive niya na po yung yan, no, si BioPure, EB Plus, and Lactose S and Spirulina. Thank you, Ma'am Maria Teresa.
Hi everyone, I have good news for you. Look what I got here. Elken Spirulina 3,000 tablets now available at Elken Global Philippines. Grabe, ang laki. Teka, check natin kung ano yung laman sa loob. Ayan. So, eto siya. Grabe, ang laki. Ayan. Ito. Ayan. So, you can buy na po sa Elken Global Philippines. You can contact our customer service to have this Elken Spirulina 3,000 tablets po. Kaka-arrive lang po niyan ngayon sa office. Fresh na fresh pa. So, ayan po. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yan. Available na po yan sa office. Tomorrow, pwede na po kayong mag-order. Sana all. Ayan na po, no? Sabi nga po ng Josephine, per tablet for 53 na lang siya. So, makakatipid po talaga kayo sa inyong family. Okay? Available na po again ang 3,000 tablets Elchem Spirulina. Alright, so ano pa bang next natin? Ayan, no, tomorrow, no, because meron tayong product launching ng Lactose S. Available na rin po si Lactose S sa office, ha, mga ma'am and sir, no? Meron tayong promotion, mas makakatipid kayo, buy 5, meron kang free 1 box of Lactose S sa halagang 7,350 with 41 BV na po siya. So, ayan, so I ask everyone to open your camera dahil, ano, hintayin niyo po sa screen, dahil may picture po tayo na parating na rin po. Actually, nandiyan na sa office yan, no? Available na po siya. Sa mga hindi pa po, sa mga wala pa po, please contact me, no, sa messenger, at sa mga gustong mag-add ng flip chart, contact me lang po para at least ma-reserve ko po kayo. Limited stocks lang po ito, kaya please grab yours now. Okay, so yan, no, ito na, totoo na po ito. Just open your camera, then we will see your guest. Actually, no, yung mga guest niyo na makaka-receive ng 1 sachet of Spirulina. 10 tablets po yan. Yan, congratulations, no? We have 59 guests, no? Makaka-receive po kayo ng 1 sachet Elchem Spirulina each, no? Congratulations po. Screenshot niyo po lang ito, then kontakin niyo lang po yung mga nag-invite sa inyo o yung mga apply niyo paano po ito ma-receive. And lastly, no, just open your camera dahil magkakaroon po tayong raffle for everyone. Makaka-receive naman po siya ng 1 bottle Spirulina 100 tablets. Okay, so make sure lang po, dito kayo once na natawag kayo po, mga ma'am and sir, ha. Congratulations, ito na po siya. Si Ma'am Rosemary Paraiso. That's Ma'am Rosemary Paraiso. Check out si Ma'am Rosemary. Ayan, si Ma'am Rosemary, andyan po siya. Hello, ma'am. Baka po pwede kang kumaway. Ma'am Rosemary Paraiso. No, si Ma'am Rosemary po is from Bicol. So, ayan, no, mukhang congratulations po, Ma'am Rosemary Paraiso, no, makaka-receive ka po ng 1 bottle Spirulina. Ayan, so, once again, no, before we end, I just want to ask your smile tonight. No, just smile lang po, then magka-capture lang po kami ng picture. Yan. Smile. Okay, another one. Just smile lang po. Alright, so tomorrow ha, make sure we have more than guests po no, sa ating tonight na guest. Okay, so thank you. Keep safe. Huwag niyo kalimutan ng Spirulina before